Hi, I'm Xavier, Cameron's son. We're going to teach you a bit about how the Caravan works and how to hook it up. Thank you. Keep rolling.
Up the van, it's pretty straightforward, but there's a few steps you got to do first. So first of all, you need to wind the front of the van up. And you do that by winding this. I've already done it, but you need to get the ball above the toe ball, the toe ball head. Once you've got that done, importantly the handbrake's on as well first. Once you've done that, simply a matter of just winding it down up evenly over the ball. This has to be up as well. You'll notice that, so that it can go sit down over the ball. We wind it on, and you'll see that the weight of the Caravan will push on top of the ball. And we wind it right down until it's totally on the weight of it. Okay, now that the weight of the van is on top of the toe ball, with the brake still on, this has got no weight on it. We need to undo these little props here, which basically just stabilise the van, stop it rocking around. So we wind them up, you pull this lever out here, and these legs sit back for towing. They lock up like that. Keep this. I usually store them in here. Do the other one as well. Wind it up. All the way up. That one's not as stiff. Clicks in place. And again, keep the wood. Okay, now the van has got the weight on the toe ball, the corner struts are all lifted up. We need to lock it down first, so pull the split pin out. That goes down over like so, and that's now locked in place. The split pin just stops it popping out. This has now got no weight on it at all. There we go. Once that's done, wind it right up. And you always want to take this out when you're travelling, you don't want to leave that in place. So to do that, these just undo here. So that, store that in here. These two things here, I always like to just put it back so that you don't lose them accidentally. Just screw them back in. Now we've put the jockey wheel or the jockey stand away, that's all tidied up. The brake is still on, don't forget that. The toe ball's down and the split pin's in place. Here's the 12-pin plug. It's got 5 big ones, 7 small ones. Simply plug it into the one on your car. Here we've got the power plug plugged in to the back of the car. The Anderson plug if you want to charge your 12-volt appliances while you're driving. That simply goes into your here, into the same coloured one, positive and negative, only goes one way. That's it, like that. Okay, next, the Heyman Reese sway bars. There's a trick to this. These are the things that the bars hook onto. The bars are kept in the front boot, in here. Quite heavy. So these things here, I only put them on when I'm travelling. If you're going to manoeuvre into a caravan park, you're best to take them off because you don't quite have the angle of turn. So this goes on like so. If you come over here, I'll try and do it back to front. the labels up, simply go into the bottom, like so, in here. Come around here, Zoe. Put the bottom one in first, top comes around, swings around, and so that bar sits like that. Okay. There is another attachment in here, which is the lever for hooking it up. If you go back, Zoe. So this chain here, so that bar is just sitting in there. This chain, and it depends, depends on your carb, but the idea is that it pulls this down level. But you've got 1, 2, 3, about 10 rings here, or 10 links in the chain. This one here, come down a bit, Zoe. That hooks under a chain link. So if we go down, and let's say about that one there, so it just sits on it. Now this is where you can really cut your finger off if you're not careful, so very, very careful. So that one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chain links. And the idea is that you then get this bar, put it in here, double check that that chain link's on, and you lift it up. Now it can be quite hard, just be careful this doesn't come off and hit you in the face. If you go back a bit, Zoe. So that lifts up, and all the way over. Now that's sitting there, I can let it go, but don't have anything underneath it. Let it go and it should stay there. But there's a lot of tension in that. That bar's got a lot of tension in it now. Come in closer. There is a split pin, which I didn't bring with me today, but they'll be here when you pick it up. And that split pin goes in here. Just in there. Split pin to hold this up. That comes off. Okay, so we've put one side of the Hayman Reese sway bars on. We're going to put the right hand side one on. That's kept in here as well. Oops. Okay, cool. So we've got the Hayman Reese bars on. The cords are all hooked up. The last thing, we want to undo the brake. Make sure, obviously, the car brake is on inside. I know it is. And the emergency brake. And the chains are the last things. So these chains simply go up into here with D shackles. I don't have the D shackle here today, but they'll be here when you pick it up. And they say you should cross them over instead of being straight. I don't know, whatever. I don't usually bother. That there is the emergency brake cord in case all of this pulls apart. That pops that out and it pulls the brakes on the van. That hooks on to your car here somewhere like that. Okay, last things last, the brake. So that's the handbrake there. Pull that up. Quite tight. It's just simply a ratchet like that. Make sure it's fully down. The last thing you do before you leave anywhere is to check that's down. Undoing the Hayman Reese is quite dangerous, so you need to be very careful because there's a lot of tension in that. Once you've pulled the split pin out of here, that can drop down. Now when you drop it down, if you've got your knee anywhere near that and it whacks down, it'll break your knee. So the way of doing it is to get it down, hold the tension on it, and then it pops down. If that just goes down on its own, it can be quite dangerous. Okay, front door currently locked. There's a trick to this. Find which key it is, it's that one there. Put it in, you need to move the door handle to the side and unlock it. And when you lock it, same thing. If you don't, so that's locked again, if you just click it, oh it doesn't. It just made a liar out of me. You can't lock it. To lock it, you've got to push the door handle to the side. There you go. Unlock. When you open the door, there's a trick with this. If you come around here, Zoe, there's a trick with this door. It splits. So that lever there splits the door open. Stand back.
Voila.
Voila, exactly. So click it back up. So that allows you to have that fly screen shut. Put it back together, just clicks.
Okay, you've pulled up at the campsite. The first thing you want to do is put the power on. So, what you need to do is see this switch, you turn it to 9 o'clock, okay? that is put the power on. And you see a little number 3 there. That triggers the power. Okay, then you flick that on, and that's the water pump. That is so that means you get water, okay? With the water pump on, you can pump water up. Exactly like that. If you're at a campsite with no power and you want to save power, just flick this switch and turn the water pump off.
One of the tips that I learned was that to know when it's on 240 volts. So say you've got it plugged in on the outside to camp power through the extension lead. If you've got 240 volt power, the microwave will come on. You obviously can't use the microwave when it's 12 volt. To know if you've got power here, to see if it's working, flick one of the lights on, and there you go. The fridge. The fridge is the next important thing. When you're hooked up to 240 volt, obviously, you just put it on AC. So if you come down here and have a look at this dial, it's currently off. If we were plugged in camp power, we go to AC. If we have no camp power, we can go to gas. Okay, so to turn the gas fridge on, so we've got no AC power, you've stopped at a campsite, you need the gas fridge going. Switch the selector to gas. That just controls the temperature, so maximum being coldest. And all you do is you hold that button in, which lets the gas flow, and you press this multiple times, and as soon as that green dial moves, which it's just moved, you can see it's moving up, so the little red line is now in the green. You hold your finger on that until the pilot light's fully engaged, and about 10 seconds, and let it go, and that should stay in the green. You've now got your gas fridge working. If you want to switch the gas fridge off, so you're going to move somewhere, never travel with your gas fridge on, you can damage it. So you just simply turn it to off, and you'll see when you go to off, the red line goes back out of the green, the little dial turns, and it's back up in the white. That's it. So the television set. The television has an antenna up here. The first thing you want to do is to get the antenna up. Make sure it's clear of any trees. So to do that, you simply wind it. It's got the direction up or down. It's the opposite of what it should be, so that's actually going clockwise, goes up. So that's winding the antenna up in the air. And it's a long, thin antenna. Wind it right up. Once it's up, you can then pull this lever here, pull this cord here to unlock the TV. At the moment it's locked in place so that it doesn't move around while you're travelling. Pull that out so the TV swivels out to do whatever you like with it.
See, there's the antenna right up there, like that, and it moves around when you turn it.
Start tuning it, and once you're tuning it, if you're not getting good reception, this here simply turns around, and we'll go back outside and have a look at the antenna.
Okay, now you're going to turn this antenna around, right there.
Line it up again. Now to line it up, you can see here, there is, oops, went the wrong way. You can see there's arrows on this. So if you come here, Zaves, you can see that and that line up to 6 and 12 o'clock. That means that it's straight. So once that's straight, we can wind it down. Otherwise, the antenna will sit sideways and could get damaged as you're driving along.
Okay, the cupboards are very easy to access. What you do is see this little knobby thing here, push it in and let it out. Then you can open the cupboard. You can't open it if it's just in, see? So, there you go.
Simply, you're going to light a burner, turn it to the side, and you've got ignition. Gas comes through, you've got to hold it in. Simple gas stove. Done. Same with the oven. Hot water. The hot water system. First things first, turn the pump. Turn it to hot water, get hot water flowing into the hot water system. The hot water system's in here, underneath the sink. It's in that unit there. To get it going, got hot water in the system. The gas is turned on. We simply go and a red light starts flashing, and you'll hear it making a ticking noise in a second, and then you'll hear it light up, and out the side there you'll feel hot air coming out as it's where the fire is for it. So it's on, and it takes about 5 minutes to heat up, 10 minutes to heat up, and the water is really hot. It's scalding hot. Okay, the toilet, the lovely toilet. Very importantly, you'll see that there's a flap on the top of that. Before going to the toilet, you need to tell everybody that they need to open it. You don't want them going to the toilet and it's sitting in there, because there's a rubber ring, and whilst it's new, it's just been replaced, so it'll be okay. Over time, it does deteriorate, and you'll end up with a nice smell underneath there. So open it up, do what you got to do, shut it, open it up, and there's a flush button here. You fill that flush water up outside, shuts, done. This is the toilet canister. It's got the Thetford key. Unlock it, click, click, and it opens. Now, to fill up the flush water, it's the top one. There's an indicator here to tell you how much flush water is in it. You simply open the top of that up, and hose water goes in there, fills up the flush water. To pull the canister out, you simply pull it out like this. To empty it, you take it to the sullage point. That opens that way, that unscrews. You hold it like that, and you press that button there, and you tip it out into the sullage thing. You can watch that on YouTube, it's disgusting. It simply just slides straight back in, like so. There we go, locked in place, and shut that. And lock it if you think someone's going to steal it. Water for the van. This one here is the water when you've got high pressure water at a campsite. So you just need a plastic fitting, a male plug, female plug plugged into it with a proper water hose. You don't want a green one, you want the clear ones. And then you've got town water pressure, that's for that one. And to fill up the tanks is this one here. And you just hose in there and fill it up. Sometimes we found that sometimes the water would gurgle back out. There is a little breather vent in there which just requires a coat hanger, and push it in and it unblocks it. Yeah, you fill it up with a hose. The awning. This is a bit of a trick to this, so watch carefully. You need this steel rod. The awning, there's a very distinct process. First, come around here and you'll see this undo that on each side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so just loosening these off. Next step, so we've loosened this on both sides. You'll see up here, in behind here, there's a black thing. You pull that down on each side. Another one over here. Pull that down. Okay, so that's unlocked. All right. The next step is the awning can start to come out. You've loosened this off, and you've loosened that off. Pull out the awning. You've got to unclick the thing. So if you come in closer, Zoe, up in here. Come in here, can you see that little white thing in there? You've got to pull that down. And that goes down like this, see? Click, down. Then steel pole into this strap. And I'll pull on that now. Out she comes. Out. And you see the arms starting to come up. We can stop.
Yeah.
Okay, next step is to get, so we're half out, it's nice and even. We want to do it bit by bit here. So this side here, this strut, undo that, which it already is. That slides up here and it clicks in at the top. If you come up here, Xavier, you'll see. That slides up there. There's a black button, you push it down and clicks into place. You also, at this point, make sure that's nice and loose, which it is. And we do the same on the other side. Again, straight up, black button, clicked in place. Now, if you stand around there, so come back the other way, what I'm going to do, I've got the roll almost all the way out. Pull this lever here and start sliding it up. And go about halfway. Do the other side. Again, about halfway up. Like so. We can then keep pulling this so that we pull it right out. That's it. So that's now locked in place. Tighten these up, very important. Tighten these arms so they don't move around. So that's locked in. The other side do the same. Here. Okay, it's all locked in place now. So I can now go all the way, very end. This one here. Locked in place. And the same over on this side. Slide that right up to the same one on this side. There may be one less so that it's got a bit of crossfall on it, let the water come off. And there you're done. Now you can also, if you like, unclip that and pull these posts out and go vertical, which makes it go higher on both sides, or leave it like that. Up to you. Okay, we've also got some internal struts. These just go on like so. Click that in there and that comes up. Undo the black knob and they go into it like such, and screw that on. It just gives it a bit of shape and stops it flapping around. Always need to follow some steps. I nearly cut my finger off on my other van doing this. So first of all, undo these. Okay. Secondly, start to move this back down. So it's a reverse what we did before. So just gently down, about halfway. Slide this back under. Slide that back down.
Okay.
On each side. Okay. And we can come in a bit. This one can go all the way down now. There. That's still loose. All the way down. Now, very important. Letting this thing in. It's got a lot of force. You want to hold onto the strap. Have your steel bar ready. Click this over the ratchet and it'll start going up, and you want to try and do it nice and evenly. Near the top. Are in. And done. Put it away. You come in here, Zoe, quickly before it runs out of battery. Come around to the side here where you can see this. That black bit pushes up right there on each side, and you tighten that back up. Same on the other side. That pushes up underneath there, so it stops the awning from rattling out, and again you can tighten that. Alright, excellent, all done. The awning's away. Okay, one more thing. There's an outdoor barbecue. Unlock that, the barbecue slides out, and underneath here there is a gas bayonet hub. The gas cord simply plugs into that, and then you've got an outdoor barbecue. Very useful.
Okay, hope you have a really good time in this Caravan. We've used it so much, it's a very good van. It's everything you need. Hope you get good travels. See ya.